Back here with Mike's Mustang Repairs, and we just finished up the install of this Borla S-Type Catback exhaust on the 2002 Ford Mustang GT with a stock H-pipe and exhaust manifold. Today I'm going to answer three main questions. Is the Borla S-Type louder than the stock setup? Does the Borla Catback sound better? And what tips did I learn during the install that could help you? Let's get after it! The exhaust I purchased was the Borla Catback exhaust with Stinger mufflers. Comes in 4 pieces with 4 exhaust clamps as well. It's going to add sound to your Mustang, and it features 2.5-inch stainless steel tubing, 4-inch mirrored polished tips, and Stinger mufflers. And it's going to fit a 99-04 Mustang GT and Mach 1. To help answer the first question, I've installed an app on my phone called Decibel X. It's going to tell me how loud the exhaust system is. Here is a noise level chart to show you common things and what their decibel level is. Let's go ahead and get started with a baseline. Now that the exhaust is installed, let's remeasure the volume. After aggregating the data, what you're going to see here is there's a dramatic increase in the decibel level of the cold start, going up 15 decibels at its peak. However, the decibel increase at driving RPMs is only going to be around 3 or 4 decibels. The one thing to mention is that the decibel scale is not linear, it's logarithmic, which means that a 3 to 4 increase in the decibel level will be perceived as a 30 to 40% increase in sound. So there will be a noticeable difference. It's going to be louder. However, it's not yet obnoxious. If you want to increase the sound even more, you might consider a Borla Attack or SLP loudmouth exhaust, with both systems estimated to increase the sound volume by an additional 50%. Now that we know the answer to question 1, let's go ahead and do some driving clips. This sounds great. It sounds even better in person than the video is doing it justice for. I really like the way it sounds. It's that classic V8 muscle car sound. After driving around for 20 years with the stock exhaust, I can assure you this aggressive yet refined sound is a huge upgrade, bringing this 2-valves engine potential to life. The kit came with a neat hat as well as detailed instructions on how to do the install, so I'll just quickly go through some tips that I learned along the way. You can cut the exhaust with a saw. It'll come off really easily from the back. Then you're going to be left hanging from here, and then from the X-pipe or H-pipe up there. So of course hit this with PB Blaster. You should have been doing that for the last 2 days or 3 days, including the seam right here. You're going to want to get that with PB Blaster as well. The 2 hangers here, the quickest way that I found to do this is to take a utility knife and then cut through here, and then there and there, and then that'll allow you to drop the muffler component from the top. These things are like 25 years old, right? So they're going to need to be replaced. You can get the new ones about $10 or so. So if you cut them, it'll come off really quickly. And of course, this section will be stuck to the car, so you can just flip it using PB Blaster and then cut along the seam, and you'll pull it right off the car. It'll just take 5 or 10 seconds. That's the quickest way I found to get these off. You can see how rusty the seam was, and so this took a little bit of persuasion to get off. PB Blaster on the seam, and then we had one guy down there pulling and one kind of hitting this with a hammer to impact it off. And yeah, if you just kind of pull it and then hammer right around here, you'll get it off. Or you could use a pry bar. For the install, we're going to use this toy car to demonstrate. It's a pretty cool car. They used to have a lot better features on them. It's pretty neat how much detail these models used to have. But anyways, there's going to be 6 catalytic converters up here. They're going to connect to an H pipe. There's going to be a seam right here you'll disconnect, and then we'll need to reconnect the new exhaust. You'll have your 2 mufflers that'll feed over the axle, and then that goes out through the tailpipe. If you jack the car up by the axle, what's going to happen is it's going to compress the axle, and you won't have enough room between the axle and the upper control arm in the back. So what you got to do is use the rear jack points, and then it'll allow the axle to hang as far, and that'll give you enough clearance. If you were just to remove the exhaust from the H pipe, you won't have enough clearance to get it over the axle, so I found the best place to cut was right above the axle. So when you cut, the tailpipe will slide right off. There's an exhaust hanger back here, and then you'll be able to slide this piece out. Now the Borla, when you come back in, you're going to want to come from the opposite side. So if you're working on the driver's side, you're going to come at it at an angle from the passenger side. You'll be able to slide it over the axle, making sure, of course, that you have the rear axle as low as it'll go, and you'll use these rear jack points to hold the car. And then on the passenger side, there's an extra bolt that you need to clear. And so when you're coming over this way, you do need to remove the exhaust hangers from the body. There's 2 10mm bolts. You can easily remove those, and that'll give you enough clearance to come at it this way and then hook it over, and you'll be fine. If you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching. I've made a list of all the enhancements I've made to this car, and I've got videos documenting each of these components. If you found this video useful, please consider liking and subscribing. See you next week!